Apple customer support has become a total joke. The message is clear. In today's world, when it comes to tech support, you are on your own. In the past, companies like Apple has the best customer support and the technical customer support. The amazing value of Apple's customer support was available when even your product passed its warranty. The major issue that clients face nowadays, you cannot speak with anyone concerning the product you just purchased. If you bought anything from Amazon, made in China, you have zero chance to speak with anyone. The world has changed, and the manufacturers do not stand behind their products. If you are not able to use a product or it turns out to be defective, you end up returning it. Microsoft has one of the worst customer supports for the general public. I am not speaking for the large enterprise accounts that are paying huge licensing fees to Microsoft. If you are lucky enough to find a technical support number, you will end up speaking with someone in South or Central America. Some time of the day, your call will end up in the Philippines. You are considered as the perfect sucker calling the Microsoft support even with a new product because they will ask you your credit card for a minimum of $150 just to speak with you. This is pure highway robbery. I am very surprised how the local authorities and the customer protection agencies are not suing Microsoft for criminal practices. Coming from the IT industry for over 35 years, I know exactly what is the issue with my software and the computer in general. Whenever I speak to Microsoft and any other suppliers, including my internet provider's technical support, I am sure at 90% that I will end up speaking with poorly trained individuals that will end up hanging up the phone when they do not have an answer. They know very well that they are untouchable behind the third-party call centers. Apple was the exception until now. Apple technical support has become a pathetic organization with extremely poorly trained, incompetent individuals, including their senior technical support, that you could reach if you are willing to argue and ask for an escalation to the next level of support. I will give you a perfect example of Apple's technical support incompetence when my wife called in for a simple technical question, which the first level at their call center could not answer, and it ended up with a senior technical support representative. The lady from Apple forced my wife, who is not technical savvy, to delete her email account and couple other accounts just to solve a BCC issue that had nothing to do in deleting her email accounts. When she deleted her email account from her iPhone, she lost all her emails and all her work in classifying these emails in perfect folders. Rule number 1. You do not delete customers' data, and especially her email accounts. This has destroyed her emails, and she did not know what to do. When the issue was escalated to the legal department, she received more call by other technical specialists, and they all came to the same conclusion. The so-called Apple's senior technical consultant made a major mistake. Unfortunately, there was no solution to recover for her deleted email accounts with all her data. This shows you that you cannot trust any advice given to you by the technical support from Apple and all the rest. You are better off asking your questions to ChatGPT or find how to deal with your issue watching a YouTube video instead of calling these poorly trained, incompetent people. Apple customer support has become a total joke, a historical perspective. There was a time not so long ago when Apple was celebrated not just for its innovative products, but for an equally remarkable customer support system. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Apple stood apart from the industry through an unwavering commitment to service excellence. Their customer support was legendary, knowledgeable, helpful, and available even after a product's warranty had expired. This was a stark contrast to the practices of other tech giants like Microsoft, whose support for individual consumers has long been characterized by labyrinthine phone trees, outsourced call centers, and exploitative fees. Today, sadly, Apple customer support has become a total joke, and not a funny one. The golden era of Apple support, in the early days of Steve Jobs' second tenure at Apple, 1997 onwards, customer service was treated as an extension of the product experience. The ethos was simple. If you bought an Apple device, you were entering into a relationship, not just making a transaction. AppleCare was reasonably priced and included real human interaction. Genius bars inside Apple stores offered one-on-one technical support that was free or modestly priced even if your device was out of warranty. This approach wasn't accidental. Apple realized that in a saturated and increasingly competitive market, loyalty was priceless. Making sure a frustrated customer could get help in real time was part of building the Apple cult, and it worked. The current disaster: no accountability, no help. Fast forward to today. In the age of hyperglobalization, outsourcing, and the AI's obsession with quarterly profits, customer service has been reduced to a hollow shell. The worst practices, once limited to companies like Microsoft, have now infected Apple as well. Example: today, when you purchase an Apple product and encounter a problem, it is nearly impossible to speak directly with someone who can offer real help. If you manage to get through to a human being, you will most likely encounter undertrained individuals working in offshore call centers who are reading from scripts. These call center workers are instructed to escalate calls only after customers argue and persist, making the experience degrading and frustrating. The personal anecdote of a technical support disaster speaks volumes. A senior Apple support agent advising a customer to delete her email account to fix a simple BCC, blind carbon copy issue, is not only grossly incompetent, but criminally negligent. It violates basic IT support protocol. Rule number 1: never delete a customer's data without explicit informed consent and clear backup measures. Deleting an email account without ensuring backups results in irretrievable data loss, something that any basic IT certification program, CompTIA A+, for example, teaches at the very beginning. That this could happen at the senior support level at Apple reveals the complete erosion of their training standards. Worse yet, when escalated to Apple's legal department, the acknowledgement of fault came with no real remedy. The damage, years' worth of classified emails and organized data, was permanent. Why has this happened? Several historical and economic factors have contributed. Global outsourcing. To cut costs, companies began outsourcing support operations to countries where labor is cheap. In the early 2000s, Microsoft led the way by moving much of its support to South America and Asia. Apple, after resisting this trend for some time, has now fully embraced it. Profit over customer loyalty. After Tim Cook became CEO, Apple began focusing heavily on maximizing profit margins, including reducing support costs. The financial success is undeniable. Apple is the world's most valuable company, but it has come at the price of customer experience. End of craftsmanship. Ethos. Under Steve Jobs, there was an obsessive focus on quality in both product and service. The modern Apple management seems indifferent to this philosophy, treating products as commodities rather than experiences. Consumer disempowerment. In a world dominated by megacorporations, consumers have fewer options. Government regulatory agencies, such as the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, have been notably absent in protecting consumer rights against practices like charging $150 just to speak to a human being at Microsoft. Microsoft. Always a cautionary. Microsoft's customer support has been abysmal for decades. Outside of enterprise contracts, individual customers have always been treated like second-class citizens. Charging exorbitant fees merely for basic technical help is an insult, yet it has become normalized. Today, when you call Microsoft support, you are often rerouted around the globe depending on the time of day, from the Philippines to Costa Rica, and asked to provide a credit card before even explaining your issue. The practice is not just unethical, it borders on criminality. Yet somehow, Microsoft operates with complete impunity. The death of trust, the collapse of reliable customer support at companies like Apple signals a broader social and economic trend. The death of trust between producers and consumers. Today, the typical resolution for a defective product is not repair or help, it's return and refund. Products are not built to be supported. They are built to be discarded. Buying something as basic as a mouse or a keyboard made in China on Amazon now comes with the understanding that if it doesn't work, you will never talk to a human being about it. Even internet providers, once heavily regulated, have embraced the model of hiding behind third-party call centers staffed with minimally trained employees who have little authority and even less knowledge. If they don't know the answer, they hang up. They are untouchable. Conclusion: a new survival strategy. For consumers, given the bleak landscape, the best survival strategy is to abandon hope in official customer support channels altogether. Instead, today's savvy consumers turn to community forums, YouTube tutorials, independent tech blogs, AI tools like ChatGPT. Ironically, the democratization of information online now offers better technical support than billion-dollar corporations.
Apple's customer service decline is not just a tragedy for loyalists. It is a symbol of the broader decay of corporate accountability in the modern era. If even Apple, once the gold standard, has fallen this far, consumers must finally realize we are on our own. Apple support is a disgrace. Once the best, now it's incompetent amateurs deleting customer data and hiding behind offshore call centers. Microsoft-style scams, $150 just to talk to someone, are the new normal. These companies have zero respect for customers. Shameful. #AppleFail, #corporate greed.